Welcome to the Real Estate Agent Growth Podcast, where we dive into what's actually working to grow your real estate business today. I'm your host, Grant Burks, and in each episode, I sit down with successful agents who are closing over $3 million a year in sales to break down the exact strategies, systems, and habits that have helped them to succeed. If you're looking to generate more leads, build stronger relationships, and scale your business with proven advice from agents who are doing it right now, then you're in the right place. So let's get into it. Jordan Crosby here for our first official podcast.
There we go.
Jordan, I asked him, I said, Jordan, are you down to get real, to get into it? And he said he's game.
We're going to dive in.
I knew you'd be the perfect person for it.
Yeah.
So Jordan, I want this podcast to be the go-to resource for agents to learn from other successful agents.
Okay.
Specifically kind of here in like Central Ohio. But I want agents to come away with tactical, actionable strategies, things that they can implement in their business to become successful, like yourself. So we're gonna really get into the weeds here. First off, for those who maybe aren't as familiar with your business, tell us like who you are, what you do. Like, obviously, your situation is a little bit unique because you own a brokerage. Spoiler alert. And then, so just start there.
Okay. Yeah. So I got into real estate back in 2014 through investing in real estate. And then I got my real estate license just to save all my commissions for the houses I was flipping. And then from there, I kind of started working with clients. I didn't really love the idea of working with clients, but I would do it here and there for friends and family, and then kind of started to enjoy it. So went down the full-blown real estate agent route, and then eventually started my own brokerage now where we have about 60 agents that work under us. So, I mean, for the last 5 years, I've been training brand new agents. I've been having experienced agents come over from other places where they're not getting a lot of support and kind of giving them some mentorship. I mean, not from the ground up because they've obviously done a couple deals, but more for them, it's more like honing in the skills that they already have. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of my job is like obviously running my own business with my own clients, but then also helping everyone else grow as well.
Awesome. Thank you. And before we keep going, Ella it's recording on the ISO files and the ATEM, right? And then all the mics are set to on that, right? Yep. Okay, cool. Just wanted to verify that. All right. So now that we've got a little background for you, what was your individual production last year? How much business did you do individually?
About 12 million in volume last year. So I think over about 18 deals.
Okay. 12 million in volume last year while running a brokerage. Incredible. For maybe those who aren't as aware with like the structure, what that looks like, or maybe even those who are up and coming in their career and they're just looking for some inspiration, some motivation. What does that look like for you, an actual like income for Jordan?
I'm pretty sure around $350,000 in commissions. So
amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
Not bad.
Okay. So then obviously you have the brokerage too, which is a big part of, your real estate business. What did the brokerage bring in last year?
Oh boy, I'd have to look into it. But if I had to guess, I know we closed. I mean, I could probably do the quick math on it. I mean, we closed like 109 million in volume. So probably another like $350,000, I would guess.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So this is a man who has been successful in all different facets of real estate, not to mention your investment properties.
Right. Yeah. That's always kind of been my bread and butter until these last couple of years of the real estate. The investment properties always made me more money. Well, maybe not more money, but it seems like it's more effortless money. It's because it's rental properties where I'm not having to go and look for new clients or new agents or whatever. It's less day-to-day stuff.
Yeah. It's funny to hear you say it's easier money because after purchasing my first Airbnb, it's been a fun ride so far.
Well, you just got through the mud of it. You're now breaking
true.
into the easier phase.
It's true.
Yeah, the setup is tough.
Yeah.
It can be grueling. But then once it's established and it's going and you've ironed out all the kinks, it can be, I mean, it's not going to be 100% smooth, but, Yeah.
So this is more focused for agents kind of looking to help on buy side, just kind of like typical real estate agent transactions, but some people might be interested in the investment side too. So if you want to talk a little bit about what last year looked like for you on the investment side, then
Yeah, I think last year investment income was, I mean, gross was like 450,000. So maybe cut a third off of that, and that would have been my profit. So
awesome.
yeah,
Just crushing it everywhere, across the board.
it doesn't
Crushing
seem
it.
like it. It's weird when I say it out loud. I'm like, oh crap! It seems like I'm broke at all times because I just am trying to grow as much as possible, and
Yeah.
and again, like for the investment properties, it's like trying to use the money that I have to buy another one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's yeah. I guess I've been doing pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Can definitely sympathize with the a lot of revenue coming in, feeling like you're broke still though.
Yeah, just a lot of money moving around is all it is. It's like
Yeah.
the more you do, there's more money involved, but it's just going in different directions. You have to try to keep track of everything.
Yep, just more things you spend on to try to grow the business
Yeah.
over and over again.
Yes.
Yeah, fun stuff. But yes, incredible. I'm sure so many people are going to be really motivated hearing some of those numbers there. So tell me, what were the streams of leads that came in for you last year, or the ways that you were able to get most of your clients through your real estate business, as far as like just being a real estate agent? What do you think were the top 3 ways that you got most of your clients last year?
I mean, it's going to be 90% social media and Sphere. Like, so 90% Sphere, and I would attribute most of that through social media because, I mean, that's just how people reach out to me. But maybe it's, people from high school that I've known, or friends of friends or whatever, but still most of them reach out to me through social media. So, that's going to be by far the biggest. And then I don't even know if there was very many like paid leads or anything like that. So I've gotten now to a point where my Sphere luckily has fed me enough to where that's my primary source of business, and like at least as of right now, I don't need to do many other ways of prospecting. Just I've found a way, and I think I'm naturally gifted at just kind of staying in front of people online. It doesn't always have to be real estate. It's just posting about my dogs running through the yard or a trip that we're going on or whatever. Obviously, a good portion of it is real estate. I have to keep them, have to remind them that I'm in real estate. But I do a good job of staying top of mind on social media enough to where I think that's just been keeping me fed for the time being.
Yeah. Now, I know there's a lot of misunderstandings as to how a real estate agent, or at least the way I think that most successful real estate agents utilize social media to get new leads and grow their business. So would love to really dive into that, because I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people out there, aspiring real estate agents or current real estate agents, who are thinking to themselves, well, I'm posting on social media, but I'm not getting a bunch of leads, or I'm never going to be able to get 100,000 followers on social media. And I would love to really nail down exactly what it looks like for you, where you're utilizing social media to get in front of and bring in new clients for your business.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I've always kind of looked at social media is like almost like back when Snapchat was around, where you would just post on your story about what you're doing that day. And to me, it's a lot of times I feel like I'm just sharing it with my friends that I could think of off the top of my head right now. Like if you're like, who's seeing it? I would rattle off, 25 or 30 people. I very rarely look at it like I'm sharing it to like thousands and thousands of people. Now I'll go out to an OSU game on a game day and I'll run into someone I haven't seen in 7 years, and they'll be like, hey, I saw you build a new patio, or I saw your your content you made, or that listing you sold. And I'm like, holy crap. I like almost every time I tell my wife, I'm like, oh, it's kind of weird that these people are seeing my stuff. But I know it's going out to thousands of people, but I just treat it as if I'm just like sharing what I'm doing with my friends and my family or whatever. And that's like more of like the day-to-day stuff. Then obviously there's things where I'll come in here and shoot podcasts where that has its own, its own intent. Like I'm using that to show how I interact with my agents or how I interact with my clients, how I maybe we'll discuss what's going on in the market, and I can kind of flex my knowledge or strategies of how I work the deal or whatever. So that kind of content has more of an intent to it. And then obviously listing videos and things like that, that's good for obviously marketing the property, but also showing that I'm busy doing things and showing how well how well I do at marketing. So because, I always look at from when I got licensed back in 2014, a lot of I would say the vast majority of listings were just cell phone pictures. And then the real nice ones, maybe back then like $750,000 or more, they would hire a professional photographer. They would spend the money and do that. Then over the years, all the people started hiring photographers for every listing. And then really the big ones were paying a videographer to do the video. That was the big thing. Now, and I saw the writing on the wall. Like people that have a $10,000 lot with nothing on it, they're going to hire a videographer, so you just have to kind of stay ahead of the curve and just like let people know, hey, look, this is how, when you hire me, this is the kind of marketing you're going to get. You're going to get, a listing video with not only myself, but our other agents involved. And then you're also going to get, me pumping your listing on my social media networks and through email campaigns and whatnot. So there's definitely different ways. I mean, like we don't hire you for every single piece of content that we make. It doesn't make sense. Like if I'm just gonna be on a rant in my driveway, I'm not gonna say, hey Grant, come over and shoot this rant real quick.
Yeah.
And if I did do that, it would seem inauthentic. Like you have to be. I think that's why it works well for me compared to some other people is because I've always been interested in social media. If I was a nurse, I'd probably be posting on social media just as much as I do now and talking about stuff that's going on. So it's genuine. Whereas some people who will never, ever post on social media, they might not even have an Instagram account or a TikTok account. They get their real estate license and then they start to do it. I feel like people can kind of read through it being inauthentic. For new people, you have to just, you could use that as a barrier to be like, well, if it's not what I like to do, then I'll never do it. It's like, well, you can make it authentic. You just have to get used to it. You have to be familiar with it. Because like when I post about a rant of what's going on in the market, I know people will respond to me. I'm like talking to these people that I know will probably respond in my DMs. You know what I mean? But it's like when you've never done that before, you've never had people respond to your DMs, you feel like you're just like putting things out into the ether and people are watching it, but it's not a conversation, and so you just have to kind of force yourself into that uncomfortable position to where you do it enough to where people are interacting with you. When that's why I post these like the rants about what's going on or in the industry or whatever. It's because those are the things that I get the most interaction with. And again, it's just me kind of showing off my knowledge. But again, you just have to kind of pick and choose, like, again, I wouldn't go and do a selfie video on a listing video either. I mean, you need to hire somebody and have a full production and team that edits it and makes it look good, So you just have to kind of figure out what kind of content you're using and like how to shoot it at what times and whatnot.
Yeah. And there's so many different social media platforms now, and people might get a little bit overwhelmed or confused about like what people say I should be posting on X. Some people say I should be posting on Instagram. Some people say TikTok, Facebook, yada, yada, yada. What should I do? So let's nail down, where are you seeing most of the success with bringing in clients by posting on social media?
So interestingly, I use Instagram more. I don't use TikTok hardly at all. I'm like never on it, but I use Instagram more. Facebook is more of like a legitimate networking group. It's like where I would think of Facebook as like what I would use to keep in touch with my high school people from high school or family members or whatever. Instagram is more of like what I see, what I'm keeping in touch of what's going on in the market, or for me, like I use Instagram a lot for seeing how other people are marketing their listings. I mean, I send you listings all the time or listing videos all the time. Like that was a sick edit, or I like the way they did that. So that's I kind of, but I don't look at Instagram as like a networking tool, I guess. But what I do is I'll post on Instagram and I tie it to my Facebook, so it'll go directly to my Facebook, and then my friends and family, it's more like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is like my Facebook is more sphere, is more of my like tight sphere. So when I post on Instagram, it ties over to my Facebook, and then that's where I'll get my leads through from my sphere or referrals or whatever.
Got it.
And then TikTok, like I said, I've posted a little bit on there for a little while, but to me, it's less. To me, TikTok is more like for growth of like letting a whole bunch of people know who you are and to gain followers and whatnot. But I don't know a lot of people who like get genuine clients from there, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then YouTube's a whole nother rabbit hole that I haven't even dove into, and I know I should because so many people say that it's a great way to build your brand even more. I just am so focused on all the other stuff I have going on, but I need to do it more often.
Well, clearly what you're doing right now is working for you. So yeah, I think that's a good lesson for everybody out there. Don't get so overwhelmed of, oh, I have to do YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat. I have to do everything. Instead, find one or two that you can easily do and keep up with.
Just do one thing, and then do one thing and then kind of build onto the next thing. That's, I mean, my tying back to my story of like becoming a real estate agent. It's like I was flipping houses. That's all I was doing. Then I got my real estate license and I kind of learned how to do deals for myself, you know, and then I was like, well, okay, the next building block, I guess, would just be like, oh, I can work with some clients like here and there. And then I'm working with clients here and there, do that enough times. And I'm like, okay, well, then the next building block to that would be opening a brokerage and just kind of like managing other agents. I didn't try to do it all at once. I just like learned my one thing. And then what's the next little thing I can like kind of piggyback over onto, you know, and then I just do that over and over again. So it's like, if you're brand new and you're thinking about posting, like just post a picture on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like just doesn't have to be video, post your headshot and say this is me, and then post like some kitchens or some bathrooms. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to graduate to videos yet. Yeah. You know, but then once you're all right, I'm ready for a video. So you don't need to necessarily do a whole podcast, but you could shoot a listing video where it's just like, welcome to 123 Main Street, and that's all you have to say, and then the video. So that's your introduction to video, and then you start doing more videos. You know. But yeah, definitely start out with one simple thing, get comfortable with that, and then like slowly just learn one additional thing, you know, but just wait till you're comfortable.
Yeah. And your progression with social media is the most typical that I see as well, or not necessarily progression, but the strategy with it, where you post to Instagram, that feeds to Facebook. And I just want to kind of key in on what you said there. So you said you typically post to Instagram. It's connected to your Facebook, so it gets posted to Facebook, and then the people that are seeing it within your sphere on Facebook are usually the ones that are, so they're reaching out to you through Facebook. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the time. It's I mean, I've gotten a few, my biggest client I've ever had was through Instagram, but yeah, a lot of it is just through, and if you really talk to a real savvy content creator, they would say that, you know, you would make different content for Facebook versus Instagram. All the content I make is like Instagram content, and then I just happen to post it on my Facebook.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, when I was just starting out, even to this day, again, like I just said, I send you stuff all the time that I see. It's like I just replicate other people's stuff. Like I'm not ever gonna act like I am the creative genius that's like I've got this crazy idea. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a conversation where I was like, I have this idea from nowhere. It's always like, I send Grant something, like, I like this, you know, maybe we can put our twist to it, but it's like, just do what other people do. Like, and maybe you can get to a point where you graduate to where you're fully coming up with your own concepts or whatever, but there's enough real estate stuff out there to just, you know, copy what other people do to a degree.
Yeah. I mean, there's a great book out there called Steal Like an Artist, and it's about how nothing is truly original. Everything is some sort of remix or a new version of something that's previously been done. You're taking your inspiration from somewhere, whether it be maybe it is a video that you saw on social media, or maybe it's something that you read from, like an article you read or something. No ideas, no concepts are truly original. I think it would be a lie to say that, you know, I had an idea and it was my idea and I came up with it out of nowhere. No, yeah. You pulled it from somewhere.
I've seen that hinder a lot of agents where they're just like, I don't really want to copy anyone else. It's like, well, then good luck, because I mean, like, even if you're not, you have to take inspiration from somewhere. I mean, it's just is what it is. I mean, unfortunately, in our industry, there's like a million agents. I'm pretty sure there's over 1 million agents in the United States. Like, even if you genuinely think you came up with that, like someone else has already done it. So they're going to look at it like you've copied somebody.
Yeah.
So, and again, like we all do the same stuff. It's not like each person has their own thing and then you're just copying one person's. Like we all do the same stuff. We all copy each other. It's just like how our industry works,
Yeah.
So definitely don't let that hold you back. Just, kind of use that as inspiration to take some of the burden off your plate of like, because it's a huge burden. I have to think of an idea and how to shoot all that. It's like I don't have to do any of that. I just have to reenact what they did.
Yeah. And so to go back to Instagram, your social media strategy, I want people to walk away from the podcast and be like, okay, I know what I can do today, what action I can take to move myself forward in my business. So I want to talk a little bit more about when you post to Instagram. There's obviously a multitude of ways that you can post to Instagram. I don't want to put words in your mouth. What I'm hearing a little bit, it sounds like you've got typical posts that you do, such as reels or just regular posts, that you're putting up videos, photos of kind of more professional, polished content. And then you mentioned more kind of just like authentic rants and whatnot, whatever you might be happening day to day. I imagine you're probably posting those to your stories. Is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes stories. I probably should. I've actually over the last year or so thought, because I'll look at other bigger pages that are like full-blown media companies that do this, and they almost never post on their stories. They just will shoot a rant and post it as a reel, which is probably the better move. I just don't do that for whatever reason. But yes, the way I do it is Instagram stories. I just look at it as like I want to stay top of mind. Like for our brokerage page, our brokerage Instagram page, I never want there to be a time when our Instagram story has nothing on it. I always, when we just, for the most part, just share reels or whatever of like houses, but I don't want it to ever be dead. I always want, when people are clicking through stories, that ours will come up at some point. It's just like staying top of mind.
Yeah.
And so that's how, now the problem with doing that as like for just my own story is like you could come off annoying if you're just on there rambling all the time. You know what I mean? It's easy when I'm just resharing houses or whatever. But yes, yeah, stories. I kind of pick and choose. I guess I don't really have too much of like a method. I think, yeah, like you said, more of like if it's just something that I'm doing that day or a thought that came into my head real briefly, it'll be on a story. But if it's a little bit more planned out, I'll make it a reel.
Okay. Okay. I've got two kind of things I want to mention off the top of that. So one, something that I'm considering doing a lot more of, I think there's a lot of value in posting. So put a post up, whether it be a reel or just a typical post, post it to your feed. And then you can always delete it later. So if you're somebody who feels like you want to keep a really clean feed, which I get, I think there's something to be said about that. I think it's overhyped and overrated. But if you're maybe somebody who's newer to content and you're nervous about putting something out there where maybe you feel like you stuttered over a word, you don't sound your best, you don't look your best, you can always post it and then just delete it later. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I see that happen a lot. Even if something doesn't get a great response, like if you're not getting a ton of views on something, you're like, oh, I'm worried they're going to see I didn't get many views on that and it's going to hurt the rest of my page. First off, it won't. And then secondly, you can always just delete it later. Yeah. So that's one thing. And then second to that, you mentioned sometimes people might be worried about being annoying on their stories, like not wanting to post too much on there because it might come off annoying. And I think on that note, I think you're going to connect. If you're constantly posting your stories, one, you're going to give yourself an opportunity to connect with your audience. If you're not posting on your story at all or not enough, which is probably where most people fail, then you're not giving yourself that opportunity to connect. Even if it's something that people might not find interesting or maybe slightly annoying, then at least you're putting yourself in a position to where you can connect with your sphere and stay top of mind. And ultimately, if someone unfollows you, it's for the best. The algorithm works to optimize the people that should be following you. So if you're worried about someone unfollowing you, you don't want that person following you because they're confusing the algorithm anyway. The algorithm will say, okay, this person's not interested in that type of content, and they'll find the people who are interested in you. And those are the people who are going to be your clients.
Yeah.
Don't try to please everyone.
You almost want to look at like, so imagine you open your phone, you go through your email app and you're scrolling through, all the like subjects or all the senders, and like you see one from Nike or wherever, and it's like, that's what I almost look like. I feel like the Instagram, the story feed at the top is kind of like that. It's like a drip campaign to me. It's just like they're going to click through. They're eventually going to see mine. Now, whether they swipe out of it and skip my story and go to the next one, it is what it is. But it's like I at least want my face to pop up or something about me to pop up, my page to pop up to stay top of mind.
Yeah.
And so you can't get caught up in like, will people like this or not? I don't really honestly care about that. I just like, when I think about things, it's like, is this valuable information? Like, and if literally every single person hates it, then oh well, but I know it was valuable information. Like, feel like I'm helping give somebody something here. And most of the time people, you know, find it that way. And of course there's like even times when you'll be like, what if I'm wrong? Like, because trust me, there's times where I'll be like, there's a whole lot of agents that follow me and they might think this guy's a freaking idiot. He didn't even know what he's talking about. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm going through this right now with this deal or whatever. So I sometimes battle that thought of like, what do I probably think that more than anything else. I probably think, what do other agents think more than what does my sphere think? And I just have like tried to manufacture my mind to like not let that bother me. Like, who cares? And at the end of the day, it's like, if they're not making the content, then they shouldn't be judging with the content I'm making, you know, and most people aren't making content. So,
Yeah. What's that? We've talked about this quote before. I think maybe it was Alex Ramosi is like, my crappy video is better than the video that you never posted.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you putting something up is better than putting nothing up. Okay, I know we're limited on time here. If you guys want to see more with Jordan, want us to do another podcast where we pick Jordan's brain more, let us know. We'll be sending this out in a newsletter format as well as posting it to our social media channels. So Instagram mainly, probably put it on TikTok too, and then probably even post the long form version on YouTube / maybe Facebook. So whether it be in the newsletter, email us back. Let us know if you want us to sit down with Jordan again, talk more to him, and any questions that you have. And then just comment to us or DM us on Instagram. But I want, like I said, I want people to walk away with something that they can do today. So we've talked about success being coming from posting on Instagram, connected to your Facebook account, getting that out to your sphere. Now someone's sitting here, they're like, okay, I can post to my feed or post to my story. What would be, if someone's like, what should I post? What can I post today?
So
what
it's
can
like-
I post today?
So I had a conversation with one of our agents not that long ago who was, you know, earlier this year, the first couple months of the year was like dead for him. Like he was working hard to build, to like market and just couldn't get a client to save his life. And it was tough for him. And then he started to get some clients and some leads, and he's been super busy. And what happens naturally in those situations is you kind of like forget about the marketing because you're so busy. And I told him, I was like, look, every single day you're doing something that's real estate related, obviously. I was like, so post about it, whether it's just driving to the showing, and then when you leave the showing, make a video in your car of like, I was just showing this house in Westerville today and blah, 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 blah. I can't believe that the sellers left their dog cage out and dog fur all over the couch. Like, they should have tried to clean it up. It kind of turned my clients off or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you're just telling what happened, but you're kind of also giving insight to future sellers of like, hey, like, clean your house up when you have showings, you know? Even if you're just showing a house, like, you could just like take a quick little boomerang or a quick video of the backyard or the kitchen and just say like showings on a Tuesday or whatever. It's like every single day you're doing something, you can post about it. Like, it's not going to be the most exciting, crazy thing, but it's like you're looking busy, you know. That's the thing. And so even if it's, you know, you just sitting at your computer and working, you know, you can do other things. Like, if you go on a showings on the weekend, you can, you know, shoot a video of the kitchen while you're there and post that and say showings on Saturday. But then you can go up to the master bath, shoot a video there, and then put it in your camera roll. And then you can shoot a video of the front of the house, put that in your camera roll. Then 2 days later, when you're not doing anything, you can post the master bath and be like, showings on a Thursday. Like, unless people are super paying attention to the market, they're not going to know that that was the same house you were just at. And then, you know, then 2 days later, you can post the front of the house and be like, showings on a Friday or whatever. It's just looking busy, looking the part. Again, it's not always going to be something that is like this groundbreaking information or something extremely exciting that you're doing, but it's just posting that you're doing something. That's all that you can really start doing. And then again, you'll get better at it. You'll get more creative with it. But just again, like, if you're saying, hey, tomorrow I'm starting out, just there's got to be something real estate related on your calendar. Be like, all right, whenever I'm doing this, I'm going to post about it, even if it's a 2-second clip. And then just do that every day. Like do a 30-day challenge of that.
Awesome. All right, so we've got the action items here. One, make sure your Instagram account is connected to your Facebook account. When you're posting to your Instagram account, click that button that just automatically sends it over to your Facebook. You're just going to get more reach that way. 2, always keep something on your stories. So your story should never be completely empty. There should always be something within the last 24 hours on your story. 3, you're doing something real estate related today. At least you better be if you're trying to grow your real estate business. So whatever it might be, post about it. Pull out your camera. If you're nervous to have your face on camera, if you're driving to a showing, when you're driving out of your driveway, just record your hand on the steering wheel driving out your driveway. Don't do that down the highway, but something. You don't even have to have your face on it. So something low barrier that you can post on your story, letting people know that you're involved in real estate so you can get top of mind. Post it on Instagram and your Facebook today. Jordan, thank you for coming on. Any parting thoughts that you want to share here?
No, just get after it. Just get out of your own way. That's the thing. Everyone's in their own way. They're in their own head, and they create all these excuses as to why they can't do something. We've all got to fight through that. So just get out of your own way and commit to it. It's not like it takes a ton of work, like literally 2 minutes a day, and you'll see. And the other thing is don't get caught up on the returns, because like posting on social media, you're not going to like post for these 30 days and like have 10 clients. That's not how it works. It's a resume essentially. So you just want it, over time to be posting often, and then people will think of you more often, and then they'll reach out to you when it's time to buy or sell.
Awesome. Thanks, Jordan.
Yep. Thank you.